Adrian out of Long Island, New York. Adrian, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you today?
All is well. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Nice.
So I was waiting online because obviously I was on hold. But so a lady had called in, the first lady that was challenging you about the women and the spirit and all this stuff.
Oh,
So
Barbara
was
from
like,
Michigan, I believe.
Yeah. So, yeah, I understand this stuff to be true. I understood it to be true when I didn't have words for it, but you let things go and then you fall into whatever you fall into. But I had heard a pastor say something. Now I can't remember it because I called you about it.
Right.
But he had mentioned, he was saying something about why would Satan use the man to spread evil into the world when the woman was created to be a helpmate. He says, so if he has I can't remember how he said it, but it was like, ooh, that sounds good. But he was like, but if he took the woman who's designed by nature to be a helpmate, to always want to assist, wouldn't she be more suitable to bring millions and more people into evil than it would be the man? The man was just, I think Adam was just demonstrating what we see today in men, weakness, not to take responsibility for who they are and what they're destined to be, but to incubate and have a child being formed inside of you with all these things going on, especially if you've not overcome in life, and then to be deceived through the woman into, even if she's a nice woman or I was a mean one, but it would be so much more evil to spread because it would be so well disguised. I wish I knew who this pastor was, not someone I would follow, but it was the way he said it. It complemented what you're saying about women, and I'm like, that's so true because we can deceive you in so many ways. I'm so sweet. I carry the baby. I love the baby, but like when I was pregnant, I was in a fallen state, and yes, I was a Bible thumper, but I was still in a fallen state. And all of those emotions and the anger and the whatever I felt, every day my baby in that womb was feeling that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It does make sense, and it's true. I don't know if this is judging or not because there's still so many things that I am hoping to continue to grow in the truth. But I cannot believe when a woman calls you in, even if she doesn't want to believe in Jesus, say that women are so loving and so kind. We're traumatized in school by each other, girls. I guess you're right that they just don't want to see the truth. Because I'm like, even if you're not looking for Jesus, you cannot say as a woman that other women are kind. I'm like, because that's just not true. They even made a movie, Mean Girls. I mean, give me a break. It's just, I wish them well.
The women,
I hope I'm wishing them well.
The women know it, but
makes sense.
They know it, but because they're so attached to the false self and to the lie, it's hard for them to admit it. That's why I say once you believe into a lie, it's hard to believe the truth. You got to want the truth to come and cause you to believe, to overcome that lie. And these women who are fighting to stay in hell like that, they know. That's why they're fighting back, because they know what the truth is. They just don't want to admit it because they love living in the cave rather than face it. I want to ask, how do women react to you when you mention the evil nature of the woman?
They just look at me like I'm crazy. And then sometimes I believe the thought, and I'm like, well, look, I'm a woman. I don't want to be a man. But I'm just saying, let's think about this. My aunt to say it, they hear you, but it just glosses over. So now that I am growing, I'm starting to understand, oh, yeah, all right, it's okay. I don't need to make it clear to them.
Right.
But for me, it just keeps blowing my mind. Like, you know, I'm going to tell you real quick. My husband, who his daughter took that DNA 23andMe, right? So when I met my husband, he has a large extended family. Now, seemingly everyone gets along, and I like his family better than I like mine. But come to find out recently, which was in the back of my mind, but I didn't pay attention, there's several brothers and sisters. Several of the sisters they're all from the same mother, but they have different fathers, right? Well, my husband always thought that he was a full-blown Irish American. Come to find out, he and his brother Michael, who looked the most alike out of all his family, had a different father that no one knew about. His mother was married to the father that he thought was his father, but left his mother and always felt a disconnect. But anyway, the point is, when that happened, I was like, Rob, do you understand what I'm trying to tell you now? So everybody was like, oh, my God. He discovered he has a new father, a different father, and new brothers and sisters. And I said, now, how would your mother hold that, never tell you that secret? I said, but yet you grew up thinking that your father, Charlie, let's just say, was estranged from you. I said, can you imagine how that affected your life? And then you had another stepfather, this is crazy, Papa Hooley, who was married to your mother. That's still not your father. You thought he was the man in your life and that he was a better father than. I said, can you imagine your whole life has just been changed? All the feelings, all the things that I said, and then you guys are still sitting there saying that your supposedly real father was an alcoholic. I said, what about your mother? I said, she was married to both of these, to your father and had 2 children illegitimately. I said, and then your father left. I said, so does that change the whole story? I said, it's not that we want to be mean. I said, you deal with me all the time. I said, but we can't help it. We're conniving. We think that way. Please, I was hell on wheels. The first time I called you, you put me in my place. So, yeah.
What
so
a mess.
They just look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So how do you hold a secret like that? You know what I'm saying?
I hear it all the time. These mothers are doing that to the children.
Now that we have TikTok, all you see, I'm going to get off the phone.
Yeah, I got to run here.
I know. But all you see is these stories of these guys who thought children were theirs and they weren't theirs. That's a loving person. That's a straight-up person.
Yeah.
Come on. But anyway, I love you, Dusty. I love your crew.
Thank you.
I love everything about you. And talk to you soon.
Call me again. Good to hear from you. Thank you.
Nice to talk to you. Bye.
All right. She's right.